Thank you for coming.
Absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity.
Do you feel better?
I feel a lot better. So I never had it.
Okay.
But
Okay.
like I said, I was just being
And
respectful
I
of
appreciate
you.
that.
Yes.
You can still. No, you're good.
Three, two, one.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Entrepreneurship. It's Atlanta's favorite podcaster. It's Elia, and I want to just say, hey bossies. We are here each and every Thursday at 7, and today we are here with Don, and he is, okay, now say it with the accent and everything because I'm going to say it wrong. Explain your fashion.
Okay. Hello, everybody. So I'm the creator of Favela Fashion. Favela Fashion is the brainchild. Is a fashion line that was a brainchild for a time that I spent in Brazil. When I was living in Brazil, I was always told by Americans as well as Brazilians, don't go near the favelas. It's a bad place to be, whoop-de-whoop. And the experience that I had couldn't have been better.
I love that. Is that what you're wearing today?
I am, yes. This is actually an exclusive. This is the first view of this new design.
I was about to say, I love it. I was
Thank
like,
you.
the chains and everything. I'm feeling it. I'm
Thank
feeling
you.
it.
Thank you
Okay.
very much.
So we're gonna do this now since we're talking
Yeah.
about the brand.
Dope.
I got a little something, and so we're gonna unwrap this. Which camera? I'm in the middle. Yes. Close up. Okay. Ah.
So that's our exclusive women's line V-neck.
Okay.
Large logo shirts.
This is so cute.
Yeah.
Love it.
And to just describe just to explain the logo.
Which one?
So
This
the
way?
front. So we have the lion. The lion is a symbol of strength, and that is what everybody that was in the favelas embodied. Even though they may not have had everything that, quote unquote, we have in America, running water, electricity, things like that. They still had strength. They still had pride. They were still proud of where they were at. So that's how I thought about the lion. The dreadlocks represent the time that I was in my life. At that time, I had locks.
Okay.
The ice golden green beads, that represents my Rastafarian culture. My mom is from Jamaica.
Oh, wow.
And then the blue eye, that's actually the center of the Brazilian flag.
Wow.
Yes.
Can y'all see that? Okay. You guys, we're going to try to get him to give away something, okay? Because this is an amazing, amazing fashion line. You guys know I do not bring you guys trash guests, okay? We are talking about something that is changing the world. And can you please talk about what you do with some of your profits when it
Yeah.
comes to this?
Yeah, so a percent of every purchase that's made, I give back to a different favela each year. So last year was my first year giving back. We raised 280 US, 1,500 Brazilian reais, and we donated to the orphanage. And excuse me, pronunciation. It's Esquivo Criança Hospital de Santos in São Paulo, Brazil.
Okay.
So we're on track to exceed what we donated last year,
What?
this year, and I'm actually going to be going to Brazil in November.
Oh my
So
gosh.
we'll be doing it in person, so I'll definitely probably be shooting some video footage to Ellie,
Yes.
just showing my time there and
I'm
the
gonna talk
impact
about
that we were
this.
able to make. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to talk about this. Okay, so how can people help? Because I know they're hearing this story and they're going to hear a lot more the more we get into it, but I want you to shout that out in the beginning and the end.
Yeah, so please go to Instagram, Favela, that's Favela Fashion LLC, and that's the official Instagram. We'll get into this as well. I did have a website, favelafashionllc.com, but with business, it throws you curveballs. Somebody
We will talk about it.
Yeah, somebody actually lodged a complaint with Shopify saying that it's their design.
Oh, wow.
So right now it had to be taken down. So had to submit all my stuff to Shopify because I literally have everything that I've sketched from 2015, all the original designs and everything. So stay tuned.
Right.
The website
We don't get them together.
Yeah, the website will be up shortly. But for now, just go to Instagram. It's Favela Fashion LLC.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we're definitely going to talk about that because I'm sure there's some lessons learned that you have that you would like to share with anybody who is trying to start their own brand, because merch is the big thing right now. A lot of people, no matter what they do, sing, act, whatever, they have some sort of merch line. So we would definitely want to talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay. So before we do that, I want to shout out my event that's happening in September. So that is September 20th. I'm going to be at COA Workshops. We are going to do our first Bosties Outside little event. Yes, we are going to do Entrepreneurs Live, and it's going to be at Atlantucky on Wednesday from 7 to 9 p.m. And what is so cool about this place is this is where I met Don. Like, this is one of those places where if you go, you meet fantastic people. We had Ada B on there, Nene the director. We've had, even the founders have been on this show. So this is a great place to come network. So I want to bring my bosses there. I want you guys to come meet some creative people. I know a lot of you guys do creative works. I know that you guys have a lot of creative businesses, and I want you guys to come meet your people, come hang out with us, and support Entrepreneurs Live. So we're going outside, y'all. I'm so excited. We're bringing creative visions. It's going to be a whole little thing. Like, y'all are not ready. Y'all are not ready. We're really bringing the A game. Like, we're bringing everything that we have. So y'all get ready. It's September 20th. So I do want to talk about, how did you find COA Workshops?
So shout out to Trell. So I'm a boxer as well,
Oh,
and
wow.
Trell was one of my trainers. She's an actor, singer,
What?
and we were training at this gym at the time. And I just approached her, and I was like, this is when I was putting the finishing touches on my short film, which we'll talk about later. And I was like, do you act? And she said yes, and we just had this whole conversation.
She just looked like an actress?
No, well, she was talking, so her music choices were very eclectic. 'Cause,
Okay.
like, you know, we're there training, like, jab, jab, cross, and she's playing, like, Pretty Ricky, and I'm just like, what's going on
Like,
here?
what?
Yeah, or, like, the soundtrack to The Wiz, and I'm like, okay. But, yeah, so then she then told me about COA, and to be honest,
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm imagining a boxer doing a routine to The Wiz. What song? What song? I'm sorry, I'm stuck on it.
I'm just going to go because I don't know 100%, so I'm just going to say Ease On Down, like, just as a scapegoat. But, yeah.
I have to see this.
So,
I actually would have approached that person too. Like, hi,
what is going on?
You're an interesting person.
Yeah. But yeah, she had told me about the event and invited me. And she kept inviting me, and I am really reserved, as well as, you know, it was my first project, so I just didn't know if I was ready to put it out there. And I was just like, you know, I'm gonna pull up. And I pulled up, and she was surprised that I was there.
Wow.
And then from there, I met Gary and I met Ralph, and we all know. First of all, shout out to them because they are amazing. That location and the vibe that they curate is just unmatched. Nothing that I've experienced here in Atlanta is so
100%.
positive. And if you know Gary, is to love him because he's gonna come. He's like, hey, what do you do? And then he'll be like, okay. And then he's just gonna walk you over to somebody randomly, introduce you, and walk away. That's literally how I met.
Yes. No, he'll dip.
Yeah, he'll literally just be like, yeah, my job is done. And then just
He will literally disappear.
And it's crazy. Like, I don't know if you remember, like, you were mid-conversation with somebody.
No, he'll do that.
He came, interrupted, just like, hey, real quick, this is Donel. He does film. And so
Boom.
I'm there, like,
I interrupted your conversation, and I got to.
But hey, you meet tons of great people like Ellie, like Trell, like Ralph, so many people.
No, I had him on the show, and I asked him about that specifically because I was like, dude, what is that? He was like, he does it on purpose because he knows that if he's not forcing an interaction, people will go home not meeting anybody.
Yeah, no, that's
so
true.
he's like, if y'all came all the way out here, I'm going to give you that one little push to do that.
Yeah.
What he also likes to do is, he's like subtly doing something very, very sweet for you at the same time because he's actually introducing you as what you say you are.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
as soon as you meet this person that he's getting you in touch with, you're introduced by the person who is running the event to a person. So it just puts you even yourself in a different mindset of, yeah, I really do podcasts. I got to talk about this shit. Right? like, I can't sit there and be like, okay, this man whole ass introduced me as a podcast host in my order post. Like, can't do that. So I love that about his environment. So for him, it's 100% intentional because he's like, I want y'all to meet somebody, and I want y'all to believe in yourself, and then I also want you guys to talk about my event because you met somebody at my event, and I talk about him almost every week, so it works. I was like, this man's a marketing genius. Y'all take notes. Go watch that episode, because between the three of them, they have they're bossies. Like, they really honestly sit there and they help each other all the way. So since I brought up the word bossies, you brought your business partner here. So how did you find your bossy, your boss bestie, somebody that you could actually be like, I want to do business with you. I'm going to exchange money with you.
So it's crazy. This is one of the things that I live by being an entrepreneur is I'd rather be rich in resources than rich financially. And I've learned of just, talking to people and keeping them in your, first of all, talking to them, but also being intentional and being truthful with them, because when the time comes where you need them, you can hit them up and be like, hey, I got this project going on, or hey, I need help. And 9 times out of 10, in my experience, they'll come and show up for me. So with Sheba J, who is and she's super humble, but she's a really, really dope.
She didn't want to be on camera, but she here, y'all.
She's a really dope musician. We were just talking at our day job, at the same day job, and just chopping it up. And I was like, oh, you do music? I'm in film now. You think you would potentially want to do some of the scoring for my film? And she was like, I would love that. I would love the opportunity. Wow. And I was like, what about, you lending some of your music to it? And just from conversations and her trusting me getting to trust her. And here we are now. We have, she was there for some of the auditions that we had for the film, and just chopping it up whenever we can, because she's busy, I'm busy.
Wow.
And here we are.
I love that. That kind of sounds like how I met Joe. Like, I met him at a networking event, and then it was just like, we're friends now. You cannot get rid of me. I'm here. So I love hearing about these stories. So I do kind of want to talk about how you got started. You said that this clothing brand started from you living in Brazil. Yes. So that's huge. Where are you from, and how does a black man from the U.S. end up in Brazil?
So this story is about to be crazy. So I'm originally from Florida. Went to college in New York. I did my undergrad at a school called Monroe College in the Bronx. And I was supposed to go to NYU to study international business for a master's. At that time, I had an affinity to Brazil because, one, my dad's originally from Guyana in South America, and it's right next to Brazil. Okay. And my last name has Portuguese. I don't know, it tracks back to Portuguese in Brazil. So I was always interested.
Yeah.
Yes. So then, boom, didn't end up getting into NYU, long story. And I found out, backtrack, I moved back to Florida because New York is expensive. I don't know how anybody affords to live there, but that's a story for another day. So I had applied, I went, and I got the rejection letter at my job. During this time, there was this young lady from Brazil that I met. Shout out to her, Cachucio D'Agostino. God bless you. She came into the hotel. I worked at the hotel. And she was just looking for a job. And I just liked her energy. And I was like, boom, I'm going to take you to the GM. She got hired. She gave me no idea like what her background is or anything like that. So it was myself, one of my good friends, Nikki, and Katie at the computer when I got the rejection letter. And I'm like, I got it. And I'm just like crushed. I'm like, man, I ain't shit. And literally, she has the funniest accent ever. She's originally from Brazil. She's like, screw them, Donel. You can go to my mom's college in Brazil. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, your mom has
Wait a minute, what?
Excuse me, what? She's like, yeah, my mom has a college in Brazil. Do you want to go? I can ask her. Literally, like, this, I'm like trying to process. I'm like, yeah, okay, Katie, okay, cool.
You're like, okay, opportunity of a lifetime, but all right.
Listen, this
is cool.
September. She asked me again. This is beginning of September. She asked me again in the end of September, like, hey, would you want to go? I talked to my mom. We would love to host you. You can go. You can stay at my house.
Wow.
I was like, Katie, let's talk about it. She invited me to listen. She invited me to her parents' home, who spoke no Portuguese at the time. Spoke no English.
Okay.
I spoke no Portuguese. She did all the translation and said, "Hey, I really appreciate you for getting my daughter a job. I really like your energy. You can go to my college for free, stay in my house for free, and yeah, it's up to you." At this time, it was really hard because I just got a promotion at my job, and it was the career in which I studied. And I said yes. My mom thought I was absolutely crazy. We drove down to Miami. The next day, I got my visa, and I downloaded Babbel to start trying to learn Portuguese.
Turn up.
And I was there. I flew out October 21st.
Wow, from September to October, you're in a whole nother country.
Quit my job. Whole
Wow.
other country, knew nobody because Katie didn't go back.
Yeah.
So her dad, who spoke no English, flew down with me to just introduce me to the house, take me to the college, and
wow.
yeah.
So how was that? Because you went from English to not English real fast.
But to be honest, it was the best thing I could have ever done because it
Wow.
accelerated my learning to learn Portuguese because I didn't have an option.
Yeah.
It's either people that study a different language in the U.S., I feel like they're at a disadvantage because they're only practicing 21 hour out of the day, and then they go back to speaking English. So being immersed in it, everybody spoke Portuguese. The street signs were in Portuguese. TV was in Portuguese. The music was in Portuguese.
So your brain just had to turn.
I just had to
yeah, I got
turn.
you.
But also I was always thinking in Portuguese. So that really helped. And then I would go to do my classes, and then I would work in like the elementary school that they had next door. And speaking to the kids, they're speaking a mile a minute. Like, who is this fool that doesn't understand what I'm saying? So I had to learn. And yeah, I had a great teacher. Shout out Michelle Pinto. He taught me day in and day out, and I ended up getting my certification to teach English at an elementary level.
Wow.
There. Yeah. So then yeah, I'm in Brazil. I'm learning. I'm just navigating through life, and I take it was around Christmas the first time I was there, and I was able to get a job at like an orphanage that housed some of the kids from the favelas. And that's where I kind of like struck this bond where it's just like I'd heard all this negative things about the favela, but these kids were so sweet. Sometimes the parents would come to visit them, and they were so grateful.
Wow.
They were so just thankful that
They just couldn't take care of them. That's why they were
yeah,
there. Oh wow.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
a
my
really
goodness.
complicated situation
Okay.
there. But yeah, they would thank me. They couldn't believe that I was this guy from the U.S. That was there and was just showing love.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's where I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna create something to highlight these people's strength and their humility, and that's where Favela Fashion was spawned from.
I love that. Okay, one more time. Where can they find your stuff?
So Favela Fashion LLC on Instagram. So that's FAVELA Fashion LLC on Instagram. And then stay tuned for the website. It will be back shortly.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
So I did say I want to talk about being an entrepreneur and like something that we just kind of found out. So you're making fun of me and my little green stickies that you guys see on my computer. It actually fell on the ground, so I need to go get them. But when I have a great business idea, I just find something. So in my room, it looks like that scene in what's that movie with Jim Carrey when all the sticky notes are prayers and he's like covered in them. What is that?
Almighty?
Bruce Almighty?
Bruce Almighty,
Yeah.
okay.
So okay, when he turned all the prayers into sticky notes, that's kind of what my room looks like. Just like idea. So what do you do when you have a great business idea like this? Where'd you put it? Did you put it in your phone? Did you call a friend? What happened?
So for this, answer is my notes. My note, if anybody was to ever break into my phone and they go into my notes, they would literally think that I'm just out of my mind because I'll have notes about a shirt design or a short film, and it would just say, man, one arm, 7 feet tall, loves women, like, and they just be like, what?
What?
But like I know that
You
like,
know the
I'm
whole
gonna
story.
correlate, yeah, everything.
I thought that was just me.
No,
because I was like,
no.
please do not read my day plan.
Yeah, no, there's literally one in there that I'm so embarrassed about. It just,
Okay, share because
Yeah.
you brought it up.
It says PPP loan, beef patty, niggas need to eat. Like, and I promise there's a fire. I promise there's a fire concept behind that. Like, and that's for a feature as well. But if anybody was to break the block, man, yo, here's your phone back, bro. You
I
this.
need that as a t-shirt. I really need you to make that a t-shirt
Yeah.
because yes, to all of those PPP loan, would you say beef
patty
and niggas gotta eat?
Yeah. Hey.
Make it make sense.
One day.
I love that. I love how all our minds work in weird ways. Like, I'll literally see exactly what I want before I write it down. And it's like it comes to me. I'll be walking and all of a sudden I'm like, that'd be cool as fuck. And I'm like, you really need to write it down. So I had one the other day. I had Clueless Park t-shirts. And I don't know what that is, but it has something to do with Clueless, has something to do with In the Park, and it has something to do with t-shirts. But I'm like, somehow I'm gonna make Clueless in the Park, and we're all gonna have t-shirts. I don't know.
It's funny. I don't know how many other people's brains work like this, but like there'll be a time that I'm sure I'll read that same note. I'm like, what the? And then when I'm just, I don't know, in the shower, randomly, like, oh, that's what it was about.
That's why you write it down.
Yes,
Because it's
yes.
like, look, this is not for, I don't know, I always say this is for future Ellie. Because a lot of times I'll just have random thoughts. And then it feels random, but I literally end up living them. Yeah. So like, I think for this Hey Bossy thing, I was just like scrolling through my Instagram. Because I was like, man, I need to really work on my content, right? You know, the lingering thoughts that you have in the middle, it's midnight for no reason, and you're just on your phone critiquing the shit out of yourself.
Oh, man.
So I was sitting there like, oh my gosh, do something about this, right? And then I was sitting there and I was like, you literally say, hey, Bosties, every single video. Like, I mean, every video. And I was just doing it. It was just something that I was doing because I was trying to make a catchphrase. Like, because, you know, you're always like, okay, what's going to be the thing that people are going to know about me? Like how, I mean, actors do it. Everybody has that thing, right? So I kept trying to do one. So I had awful ones, like BBFs meant something at some point. I had a lot of different ones that I was kind of testing, and then I just kind of stuck with Bosties, and then somebody said it, and I was like, oh shit, that's it.
It's catchy, and then with your voice, I feel like, so I did my research, and
what's up?
I did watch a couple episodes, and the thing that was reoccurring was, one, how comfortable you made your interviewee feel,
awesome.
As well as just like, hey, Bosty. Like, I just kept hearing it. I'm like, bet.
We're gonna beat it down your throat.
Yeah. So yeah, it's catchy. It's catchy.
Thank you.
Sure.
Like that took a minute because my favorite person to watch on TV growing up was Wendy Williams, and she always had the "How you doing?"
Yeah.
And so I wanted my "How you doing?" Yeah. Somebody just, "Hey, Bossy."
Nah, it's fire.
So yeah, thank you guys. Thanks for making this a thing because it's a thing now. Like, I go places and people are like, "Hey, Bossy," and I'm like, "What's up? Hi." So I love when things catch on. For you, because honestly, I used to say this when there was 2 views, so it's mind-boggling to me that people give a fuck. So do you have a moment like that where you're like, oh my God, like, I've come so far from this idea stage to...
Wow. One of the biggest for me was, I'll say 2 things, so there was a time, because Favela Fashion, I had thought about it and started making shirts way back in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just kind of got lost in the sauce of, you know, your everyday job and life. And shout out to Jasmine Williams. I'll give her all the credit in the world.
Wow.
She saw the line and she was like, yo, you're sleeping on your stuff. Like, it's really fire for real. Like, you playing. And then at that time, the pandemic had came, and I was just like, yeah, you know, I want to, but I'm so busy with life. And she, for a Christmas present, she actually had been in touch with some designers and did my first order for me.
What?
And from there,
that's a bossy.
Yeah,
Okay, shout out.
Shout out to her. I'll give her all the credit in the world. And yeah, she produced the first order, and from there I was like, wow. And I was getting feedback, and I had a maybe like $100 in sales, but I was like, yo, but I created this $100,
right,
like,
out of thin air.
Yeah. And then from there, you know, I just tweaked it and tweaked the design a little bit. So that was the first one, of having somebody else have it resonate with somebody else and the story. And they're like, no, I'm not gonna allow you to keep sleeping on this. Like, I'm gonna take it in my hands to make sure that you get on your stuff.
Push you out there.
And it's what I needed. And then the second one would be, so I did like a really dope photo shoot in Orlando, and so many people reached out. Like, I had reached out to some people to do, and they're like, yeah. And then I posted on Model Mayhem, and I had selected my models, but I forgot to like kind of close out the ad.
Wait. What's Model Mayhem?
So Model Mayhem,
because wait a minute.
so Model Mayhem is a website that you can go to. So if you're a model, you can go on there and put your pictures on there, and yeah, just to get work. Or if you have a project, you can go and pull talent from there.
Wow.
So I forgot to close out the post because I'm hyped. I'm like, yeah, I got my people. I got people. Like, I'm hyped. And I just kept getting messages like, hey, I want to come. I'm like, oh shit, like I have enough people. I'm so sorry. But like, yeah, it was crazy to me. It was like this little idea that I had living in Brazil, just trying to give back something, is really resonated to people there in Brazil as well as here.
Wow.
And yeah, it's doing my first couple orders, building the website. It was just like, wow, this is really happening.
That's awesome. That's amazing. So I know you don't just do fashion. So I don't know if do you want to share your website story now, or do you want to talk about something else?
We can talk about that.
Okay,
yeah,
so let's close out the fashion before we move on to something else. Yeah. So what happened with the website? Do you feel like let's not even talk about the bad thing. Let's talk about what you have learned from the situation.
So I learned to have patience, because being a natural born fighter, boxer, I'm like, I'm gonna find this nigga. Like,
what's up?
He messing with my business, like, and he trying to say it's his, like, but I was like, all right, calm down. But it's definitely shown me to, you know, have everything patented, have everything, just have everything, have your ducks in a row. And thank God that I was so organized with having everything from my first idea to going through Shopify, from having my LLC and my EIN number. It was, when I submitted it, they were like, oh, okay, this is easy, but they still have to go through a process. So it definitely just taught me that anytime you're in business and you have good content, people are going to try to claim it. They want to make money.
Do you know what I heard? This guy said this. He said, if you have an idea that's not being stolen, is it a good idea in the first place?
I've heard that before. Yeah.
And I was like,
I've heard that before.
Let me start thinking on that. Like, if no one's trying to copy me, am I doing the right thing? No. Like you need followers. You need somebody trying to take your swag, because then that means you got some.
Yeah. Well, whoever you are out there, I'm happy I was able to
I got the paperwork.
Inspire you. I got the paperwork. Your time is up, buddy. Like, I'm getting my website back and we're running it up.
Yeah. No, let us know when that's up, and we'll do a big celebration. We'll be like, yeah, in your face. I love those moments. Okay, so now I want to talk about your short film that you have coming out, and I want to kind of see, are you featuring your fashion in that? Because I know movies and fashion go hand in hand. So
yeah. So boom, the short film. The title is Oxtails and Anime. Came about. It came about actually from a really dark space. It's based off true events, and it is The story is, the log line is a beautiful, spirited barista brews her last cup of coffee as she experiences a medical episode that turns her family and loved ones on their head.
Wow. First of all, log line, beautiful.
Thank you.
And also explain what that is, because I know some people really are out here writing and don't have that. So explain.
So for any like pitch deck or anything like that, and I'm sorry if I'm saying some of these terms wrong because I'm just now getting into the
It's okay, but
into the film world. But it's something that's needed for. So I'm currently doing like a crowdfunding page, and you have to put your log line it's something that basically surmises your script in one or two sentences. And a lot of times when I've met different producers and things like that, like, what's your log line? Because if it doesn't really resonate with them, like, oh, okay, next. But if it's like, oh, okay, interesting, tell me more. So it's it's something to kind of captivate people to decipher whether they're going to be interested in your work.
So I'm going to challenge you on one thing. I went to one actor thing, and I'm going to give what I got from it. So this guy was talking about log lines, and he was saying always add a year to it. So he was like, sometimes the year could be the reason why that person gets interested.
Okay.
Because maybe it's in the 2010s and you get to go backwards, or maybe it's in the future.
Okay.
She has this moment, whatever it is. Just add that one little thing, and it'll get the wheels turning.
Thank you.
Shout out to Wifta. Yes. Thanks for having me. I took a lot of notes.
So
it's beautiful.
Thank you. I'm really looking forward to this. The production of this short film.
Do you have all your people? Did you already do your model thing?
So we did majority of the casting. We are still casting for one male actor, 40s to 50s, a little bit. His character is angry, and then
I actually know some people. I was in
there. Yes, we'll talk about it offline. And then one more female character. She has a really motherly role in the film, and she is shaken up after this medical emergency happens. My goal with the film is to raise awareness on heart health in minorities, but predominantly in minority women, because after this occurrence happened and doing some research, I learned that heart attacks affect women. The symptoms for heart attacks in women are way different than men, and especially in the minority communities, a lot of us don't even know our status. We're predisposed to heart disease from generations, and just from the things that we eat and things like that. So definitely look forward to bringing awareness upon that, as well as bringing awareness to mental intelligence in the minority community, because those are two things that I feel like are prevalent in our community but are rarely talked about.
So what I'm kind of hearing is you have a theme of always wanting to do social impact with your businesses. Yes. Is that because of what you've seen in Brazil, or how did that come about, and why is it important to your brands?
I feel like it honestly just comes about from experience. I never set out to be a clothing designer or a filmmaker. It's literally, they've just come from being in the thick of it, and was like, I need to do something about this, because I'm not just gonna sit back and just let this happen. Wow.
Okay. So I want people who want to help you make this film and possibly be cast in it.
Yes.
Y'all watch it.
Yeah.
Hit them up. Okay, so let them know how they can be a part of this big thing that you said you're filming in November, correct?
Yes, November. Okay. So the projected shoot dates are November 17th through 19th. There is an Instagram for Oxtail and Anime. It's Instagram, Oxtail spelled out -anime. And then we are in the process of starting a Seed and Spark as well. So we just submitted for that. Yeah, so we're just submitted for that. A lot. And everything is a learning experience. I didn't know that. I thought it was like GoFundMe, that you create the page and then boom, you're live. And no, it has to get approved and things like that.
Wow.
So also look out for the Seed and Spark /story/oxtail-anime.
Okay. Yes. I got y'all on the links, okay? Yeah. Don't worry about it. There's a lot of slashes. I got you.
Yeah. And please, I'm just an open book. I want to help inspire. I want to answer questions. If I don't know the answer, I'm going to do my best to find it out. So feel free to reach out, please.
I love that. Thank you. Because honestly, when we talked and you told me, I think the first thing that you said was about the fashion line and that you lived in Brazil. And I was like, wow, you have a story. Like, you got to share this. So thank you for coming on here and sharing. But before we leave, we're going to have some fun with you.
Let's do it.
We're going to play a game show. Okay? And so this is fashion trends, do's, and don'ts. We're going to talk about some things that we have seen, what you say, in Linus Mall.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about some things that we've seen from our childhood for some reason. I don't know. I don't like talking about it. I feel old. I'm like, why is stuff coming back? We're going to talk about some trends. And I want you to give us your honest opinion.
Let's do it.
And fashion, let me make this disclaimer, okay? Fashion is your own thing, but we do have opinions about your own thing, okay? This is just it. This is how it goes. Okay, so my very first thing, animal print.
It depends. I wanna. My brain is like, no, I'm not. It's a big no. But I have seen some people swag it out. But for me, like the monochromatic, like cheetah print headband, cheetah print jersey,
What? You're
like
gonna hate
sundress. Like I'm just like, I don't know. Yeah, I need to hide you from a vet because at this point, like, what's going on?
I'm embodying my inner cat. Okay.
Do your thing. Hey, fashion is subjective.
See, I told you, people can have an opinion,
Yeah.
but I promise you, I might just wear animal print next week just to be like, what's up?
Alright.
What's up? I did it. No, I love animal print. I think my mom wore it all the time. So
Okay.
for me, it makes me feel like a lady.
Okay.
So I think that's why I love animal print. I don't care what y'all say. I don't care. I'm always Okay. What are you feeling about the vintage revival? We were talking about some of that.
So I will say I am a big fan of the baggy pants.
Okay.
Again.
Okay.
Because wearing skinny jeans was kind of exhausting.
Let's talk about We are actually very happy that the men are out of skinny jeans.
As a man, I'm happy that I'm out of skinny jeans, like, because I look back at myself and was like,
Oh, can you breathe?
And then, we all went through that, like, party like a rock star, doing the jerk stage, and it's just like, I don't know how, but thank God it's passed.
Okay, except for we were just talking about some of the stuff is coming back. We were talking about some of this stuff. The one thing I've seen come back is the large shirts that go all the way down
the tall
to like
tees.
mid
The
to
tall
like
tees.
mid. What is happening? What in the ATL ho is going on? Because that's what the fucking
So it's crazy. I haven't seen those in person yet, but I see them in so many different like fashion lines,
Yes.
and fashion shows, and I'm just like,
It almost reminds me of like the jail phase we had with the Jabot jeans,
oh,
and then really no, we had a jail phase.
Don't talk about the Jabot.
And the Dickies.
Don't talk about the Jabot with the matching Reeboks.
Yes.
So you could get you a pair for $2.89. Like,
What a time to be alive.
yeah.
We were talking about that and the tennis shoe sneakers
Those
that are
that's
heels.
crazy.
They're
That's
heels that are sneakers. Like we did a wild thing back in the 2000s with that, and I'm seeing them
That's
again.
crazy. Yeah. I will say, I don't know. This is more of I've only seen it in females, but it's like wearing like low cut jeans with like their thong is like
Yes.
showing, and I'm just like, I don't
Okay,
know
so
where this
y'all
goes.
are bringing back Christina Aguilera dirty days. Like, what the fuck happened? Why are we doing this though? We didn't like it then though. Like we didn't like it. So I don't understand.
That just looks.
That one is it. The one thing I am happy that came back was Brat shoes. The real big platform, like chunky shoes. I love those. That was something I always wanted as a kid, but my mom wouldn't let me wear heels.
Okay.
So that now I got lots of chunkies. I think that's what happens with trends. You bring back the thing that you couldn't get when you were a kid.
No, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Sustainable fashion. Yes or no?
I like it.
You like it?
Yes.
Okay. Where do you have a favorite place in Atlanta that you like to go? Put them on to something.
Yeah. Man, I really feel bad. There's this really, really dope thrift store that I've been to a couple times. and it's in the West End. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not from Atlanta.
It's all right.
I apologize, but there's
we
a
will
really
find
dope,
it.
Yeah. There's a really dope thrift store. I will definitely shout it on my Instagram.
Okay.
But yes.
Maybe we'll make that. We'll make that. Somebody find his store as the giveaway.
They have like literally like 5 racks. Yeah, 5 racks of just like really dope graphic tees, destroyed denim jackets, really dope trucker hats.
What?
Yeah, it's dope.
So let me walk in here with an Ed Hardy trucker hat. I think I'm gonna live my dreams as a kid. That and what did Paris Hilton always wear? The little tracksuits with Juicy on the back. Those little things.
Oh, yeah.
Bring those back. Okay, what do you feel about gender neutral fashion?
I like it, especially for my brand because it's crazy. I started the V-neck just because I was getting so much demand from the people in Brazil, especially the ladies, because they're like, it's hot, and I use really heavy cotton.
Oh wow, okay.
But I really like the gender neutral because I feel like it's a way for both male and females to just be them. They don't have to conform to wearing a V-neck shirt or a revealing shirt or something super skinny. If they want to wear something baggy because that's their vibe, they can wear it.
I love that. Yeah. Hey everybody, welcome back. So we had a little technical difficulty, but Creative Visions always gets the job done, okay? Clap it up for them. Yeah. So we are back live. We actually are coming towards the end of the show, but we had to talk about this last fashion trend, and we also need to give Donel a few moments to talk about his business. So I'm glad y'all are back. Come in. Keep watching live. We're still here. So yeah. So this is my fashion trend that's getting on my nerves, and it is the metallic. How do you feel about it? I am metallic the fuck out.
Yeah. Oof, and the metallic mixed with the glitter. So it's just between the Taylor Swifties.
Yes, and the Beehive. Y'all, metallic me wild.
I've seen it all. And to be honest, metallic wears, then the glitter wears, it's messy. As somebody, it's messy. As somebody that has to clean up after people, it gets all over places.
It's like your concert outfit is on my floor.
Yeah, like you're costing me money and time with your outfit. So please, let's fade.
Y'all,
let's let
Airbnb
that fade out.
bills are high as hell for cleaning. I know it is. It's just too much.
all the Beehive and the Swiftie goers, they had to pay that cleaning fee. They had to clean.
Shout out to people who literally changed fashion. Let me tell you, if you didn't have pink and if you didn't have metallic, you didn't make no money this year.
No.
You didn't make no money in the fashion industry. And literally they came from a movie and 2 concerts. Like, I was like, wow, look at how individuals
Barbie
can be
and,
so influential on culture. And then they're going to look back at this time in life when we're done with this movie and we forgot all about it. We forgot about this one concert that apparently everybody went to this year. They'd be like, the fuck happened with fashion? All I see is pink and glitter.
Yikes.
2023. I love that. So, okay. Now that we are done with our game, thank you so much for playing.
Absolutely.
Thanks for being honest.
Absolutely.
Because even though you don't like animal print, I still like you. We're still okay.
Maybe you would change my mind.
Yes, I would.
Favela Fashion animal print coming soon.
Yes, and it better say Boston.
Got you. Could do a collab.
Yes, I'm completely down for that, for real.
Okay.
So last thing I wanted to tell you guys is this weekend we're gonna do House in the Park. We're gonna hang out with the Bossies. It's about 15 plus of us. Y'all just keep coming. It's a free event. Once you get in there, it's $20 to get there, but it's free to come hang out with me. I'm sorry. When y'all get into House in the Park, then can see me for free. Okay? I'm gonna do that disclaimer because I don't want nobody telling me you told me this is free. No, I didn't. I didn't say that. I said come hang out with me for free. I'm not gonna charge you to hang out. But yes, we are going to listen to house music. We're going to dance in the middle of Grand Park, and it was from 12 to 8. So if you guys go to my Instagram right now at entrepreneur.ish.podcast, you're going to see that under Bosty events. Get your tickets while they last. We got a lot of people. I only have so much hand space, and I'm bringing a cart, so y'all like relax on me on how it looks. Okay, we're gonna make it do what it do. All right, so I wanted to give you a chance to shout out anything that you have going on, let people know what you have coming up, and I want you to also talk about your bossy habit, which is how you are a boss bestie. And you kind of told me before we got on here, so we're going to roll all of that into one.
Yeah. So I'll say, starting with the bossy habits, I'll do my top 3. And the first one is do not be afraid to be annoying.
Ooh.
And a lot of people in this day and age will feel like, I already asked and they didn't get back to me, or I don't want to be doing too much. But you have to be just consistent if you really believe in something. A quick story is there was this very, very well known film writer, showrunner, producer that I had the opportunity to meet at my day job. And I had talked to him about the film before, and I can't say he brushed me off, but he was just extremely busy. And every time, but he was always very nice about it. And every time I saw him, I brought it up. Brought it up to the point that we happened to just be vacationing in Mexico at the same time.
What?
And I hit him up, and I'm just like, hey, I'm in Mexico. I see you're in Mexico. Can I take you to lunch and let's talk about this film? And he was with his wife. It was his birthday.
Wow.
And he was like, yeah, bro, let's link up. And when I tell you it
Catch
was
him on vacation.
Yeah, but it's just to say, don't stop asking. Be persistent. Of course, don't be a creep, but just be persistent, and people will see that tenacity and that stick-to-itiveness. So that's my.
They also see that you're not giving up. They're like,
for
look,
sure.
This guy is really doing this film. It's not a joke.
Yes.
He's gonna do it.
Yeah.
He tells me about it all the time.
So just be consistent. Don't be afraid of what they say, because the worst they can say is no. The worst they can say is no. The second one is speak your mind. There's like a term that's called task by approval, and an example is, if I would have walked in here inebriated and you allowed it, then your audience sees that and they're like, oh, okay, I guess I can come there and just act any kind of way. So if taking that into your art, if you're working with somebody and they're not meeting their deadlines when they said they will, or their work ethic isn't what you want it to be, and you've explained to them that this is what you expect, call them out on it. Because if you don't, they're going to subconsciously think that it's okay to give you piss poor work, to give you late work, to not follow the direction that you give them. So it's your passion, it's your name on it. You have to be direct with people.
I like that.
And of course, there's always a way of going about things. I'm not saying you're beating people's head in, but just say, hey, we agreed upon this. You didn't give it to me. That's not acceptable. What do we have to do? How do I have to become a better boss to make sure that we are hitting our deadlines, to make sure that you are giving me the quality of work that I expect?
I like that. Thank you for explaining how you can say it, because I think some people always like, hey, bitch, you got me fucked up.
Yeah.
We can't say that all the time.
Yeah.
We can't say that. We might think it, but we cannot say that as a business owner. That cannot come out your mouth.
And it's
thank you for giving
absolutely.
us that.
And everything is a conversation, because you never know what somebody is going through.
Yeah.
But then on the flip side of that, nobody knows what you're going through.
Yeah.
So, if you come to them on a human level and just say, hey, this is what we need, this is what I need from you in order for us to bring this a next level, it is what it is. It's out there. If they continue to not meet the marker, then I'm sorry. Then I'm on to the next, because I care about my product and I want it to be the best, because my name is on it, and people like you give me a great platform to talk about it.
Yeah, see, and I love that you. Thank you for that. Thanks for the platform. But I love that you also said that you said, how can I be a better boss? Because you were like, let me not even just put it all on this one person. Maybe it's something I'm doing. Maybe I'm giving off, I don't give a fuck. Maybe I'm giving off, this isn't really that big of a deal. Maybe I'm giving you some type of indication that this is okay. So I like that you're like, hey, what can I change about what I do so that you can take me as seriously as I'm taking myself? Yeah.
For sure. And the last one is just be consistent with yourself. Sometimes you'll feel like, you're not doing enough, which I thrive in.
Ooh.
I like to feel, I thrive in that. I like to feel like even I could come on this podcast and I worked a full day of work and I'm gonna have a call after this, and I sometimes I can still go to bed and feel like you ain't do shit today.
What is that?
Yeah.
What is that? It's like literally I accomplished 6 things that I wrote 6 months ago today, and I still feel like, well, shit, you could have had it better.
Yeah. And I, just figure out what that means to you. I'm not saying beat yourself up to it. Definitely, there's times you do have to be kind to yourself and just reflect. But I feel, for me, what's worked for me is I can never feel too content. I always want to keep going and hit the next marker, because I know there's people out there that want to up me. I'm a naturally competitive person. I want to win. I want to win in everything I do.
I like that. Okay, so we were talking about your bosses and how they've helped you. You wanted to shout them out. So let's give the shout outs, because you've had a lot of people help you get here. And I love that we got to talk about that more in depth.
Yes. And thank you so much to Jessica Howard. She's my casting director. You can find her on my Instagram under jessie.lana. E-Man, I'm not going to try to, he's Nigerian, I'm not going to try to butcher his last name. But you can find him on Instagram under E-Man the Creator. Really, really dope artist. He produces music videos, film, TV, just an all-around dope person. Shout out to just everybody that's ever just given me a lending ear. So from yourself to Deji Leray to Risha Archibald, who is... Risha is a Grammy Award-winning singer. What? She does so much in the film industry, and she'll message me and be like, "Hey Donel, it was really nice talking to you, and I really enjoyed your script." Aww. Same with Deji, has so much going on. Thomas Q. Jones, you probably may know him from P Valley and the show Johnson, but he'll still take time to be like, "Hey man, I think you could tweak this and tweak that," and just have a human conversation.
Wow.
So many people, Michelle, Katie, I'm going to speak in Portuguese real quick.
Okay,
shout out to Brazilian people.
It's your time.
Yeah, but toda família em Brazil, muito, muito, muito obrigado. Muito obrigado para vocês. Amor y paz. I really appreciate all of you. Sheba J, who's here with me today. And yeah, everybody that I've been able to reach out to. I can't wait for you guys to see the website for the shirt. Can't wait for you guys to see the film. And then just to speak some life into people that's going through a hard time.
That's what the show's about.
Yeah, some of these things respond from just being in a really, really dark space. And, from those spaces, you can really create some magic. And then really, really tap into your tribe. Lean on people that will give you that energy and will tell you to keep going. Wow. I know who my tribe was: Jeffy, Jordan, Jade, the Danielles.
Danielles.
There's 2 Danielles. And
I
Raven,
love that.
Yeah, and Raven Jones. But yeah, thank you guys so much, and I hope you guys find your tribe and continue to just flourish, because we're growing and glowing from here.
That's awesome. So I'm gonna plug myself real quick. If you are looking for your tribe, I am a Boss Bestie Matchmaker, and if you guys go to @BossBestieMatchmaker on Instagram, you guys can find my page and you guys can get your free consulting. Today is your last day to get free consulting, so you need to sign up right now, because in September it's going to be $20. But in this, we start to introduce you to people that I know you're going to like, and I know that you need to get to that next level in your business. So, and I get to do the trials for you. I get to make sure you're not going to a sketchy place. I get to make sure that you guys are meeting people that are going to be in your best interest and treat you well and not give you... I get the vibe. They have bossy vibe, okay? You're going to get a bossy, all right? I'm not giving you nobody that we can't deal with, okay? So, yes, that is what I am doing. That's my business. That's the entrepreneur and my entrepreneur-ish. So the show. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching Entrepreneurish. We are here at Live Hip Hop Daily each and every Thursday at 7. We have our second show at 8. And shout out to our production crew, Creative Visions. Woohoo! They got us through our blackout and everything. We did it. We did it. Guys, I just realized next month is 6 months. Next month is 6 months. Yes. We've been doing the show for 6 months. Each and every Thursday for 6 months. So, woo! Hey, Bosties, I love you guys. So, thank you so much, and we will see you guys next week. Bye.